Well, hey, congratulations for One Piece Film Red.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Now, I know you've been in the business for a while and doing One Piece for a while too, but how is this film different from the other projects before?
This film feels like a concert with the best light show ever.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
Incredible sound mixing. Animation is a step above that alone. I mean, just technical, but also great story, great music, and also great story arcs amongst the characters. It's a really powerful show.
Yeah, it's definitely unique in that each Straw Hat definitely has their own little shining moment. Like we all get to really kind of kick ass in this movie, which is really exciting.
Now, obviously, this is a film, compared to your 1,000 episodes of One Piece. How do you approach a film differently than the episodic series?
Well, I feel for us, one of the biggest differences is when we're doing the episodic series, the last moment that we spent with our Straw Hat is, the last episode we did. So we know our continuity going up to that. But some of these movies are further along than where the dub is, and so there are things that we learn about, where the show is going, and we get to learn about our characters, and we get to see everybody. There's a different level of perspective and context that needs to be given when you haven't had the continuity up until that point.
Yeah, that's probably the only difference because the rest of the process is basically the same.
Yeah, same technical process for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Now, after voicing your characters for all these years, I mean, Ian brought up a good point. Do you truly believe that you know your character very well,
Yes.
or you are that character?
Oh yeah.
We brought up that we improvise, and occasionally we do. Mostly it's because we're like, I think he would say this, because it's just a part of who we are now.
Yeah, because no one is gonna know our characters better than us, truly. Because sometimes, you'll do a show and the director is the one who knows the show the best, but on this show, the actors are the ones who have done it the longest. So we kind of get to have a lot more freedom and more power, I guess, as far as like not power. We're not like powerful, like power like actors, but we're afforded a lot more trust. Like when we say something, like I don't think my character would say that. Pretty much everybody across the board is just like, yep, whatever you say.
And that trust and freedom comes from after 600, 700, 800 episodes with your character. After a while, there's this weird feeling where the voice starts to exist completely outside of you. When you're first starting the character, you are very concerned with making sure that you know what the voice is, and you're focusing on that. But after this many hundreds of episodes, it exists outside of your control, really, and you just kind of innately know how your character talks. And so you'll do a line read, and it might not sound, it doesn't sound like Brook. That's not exactly how he'd say it. There's something it just doesn't feel right. And then you'll rework it a little bit, and then you go, that's 100% them. Because it informs you less inform your own reads.
Yeah, you're right. And this characters are more than any other show I think I've ever been on. They possess you so easily. And you're just able to put it on like a suit and go,
Yeah.
So I'm to assume that sometimes you could close your eyes and you could hear your character's voice in your head like instantaneously sometimes.
Oh
yeah, for any situation. Yeah.
Also, my son is 3.5. He hasn't seen One Piece, but he loves Chopper because I have Chopper stuff everywhere. And so I've done the Chopper voice for him. And now I basically just have to only speak to him in Chopper voice. Like he calls it like the baby voice or whatever. And then so he'll like point at something and he'll be like, I know, and I'll say it in my normal voice, and he'll be like, but can the baby talk to me? Like, oh.
He is going to be really surprised when he finally watches that show. He'll be like,
yeah, I've tried to explain to him, but he's 3.5. He has no idea.
Not yet. The show's been around for quite some time. So
Yeah.
Yeah. Or it could go the opposite way. You go like, Mom, I heard the show. You're close, but you're not quite there.
well, let's see if you admit to something. You know, after all these years, what's the secret of keeping your voice consistent, or do you admit that it has evolved?
Well, luckily, these characters get old. They get older anyway. So as we get older and our voices change, the characters do too. That's not always the case in a lot of shows, you know, but in this show, thankfully, they do age.
Yeah, one, I think it's important.
Some of us age.
No, that's true.
But I actually do think it's important that our voices have changed a little bit because they do mature, like you said, not just physically, but just emotionally, the amount of stuff that they've gone through. And I know for Chopper, specifically, he's just gotten a lot tougher. Like, you know, it used to be he had no idea how to fight, and now he's a very good fighter. So like he does have when he's fighting, he's got a way tougher voice than he did when he very first started.
Yeah, same with Usopp. He was such a sniveling coward. And now he's still a bit of a coward, but not as much. And he's in much more control of his emotions.
For Brook, it's confidence. When he lost his mind being alone for so many years, seeing people for the first time kind of freaked him out. And he's like, "Hi, everybody." And so there's a nervousness, and my nervousness being the character just kind of worked along with it symbiotically. And then as my confidence and my knowledge of him grew, so did his. So now what you're hearing in Brook is somebody who is deeply comfortable being with his family, and he's just trying to make them laugh. And then that just makes making my family like these two laugh my job, which is the best job in the world.
That is excellent to hear. I know fans probably will hate me asking, but how do you maintain your endurance and not get sick and tired of voicing these One Piece characters? I mean, after all, it makes up I want to say your pension for your entire life.
The show keeps getting better. Like
yeah, they're amazing. Great characters. It's a great show. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, we're probably saying the same thing.
Yeah.
They're amazing characters to begin with, but then it's gotten like even better and better. And it is just such a fantastic show to work on, with such depth of character and emotion that it's always fresh. And
this kind of privilege doesn't come along every day for an actor, to be able to work on a character that continues to grow for years and years. You don't ever go, "Oh, I got to go record One Piece today." You're like, "I get to record a One Piece today," and it's been that way for years now.
Yeah, because
it doesn't change.
Yeah, and it doesn't get boring. Because as we said earlier, these characters do grow and they mature. So it's not like we really aren't doing the exact same thing, and we really aren't doing the exact same characters, because they grow just like human beings, just like human beings in the real world. It is like Sonny said, it's such a privilege. Like it's incredible.
Now, admittingly, there's over 1,000 episodes for One Piece. And I've talking to I spoke to other voice actors before, and they were honest that they haven't seen all the episodes of the shows that they actually voice. What about you three? Have you seen all, most, or some of the episodes of One Piece? I mean, how do you handle something like this? It's very long story.
I've seen quite a few, but that was only because I directed a few. But I've read the manga, but I stopped reading the manga it was like right after they got Brook on the crew. That's about where I stopped. And I got into another project. I didn't have any time. No, it was because I was like, it can't get any better now with this great character.
It's just peak fiction.
This is it.
Peak fiction.
I've only seen some of it. I've seen all of the movies. The movies are always my favorite. But yeah, I've only seen some of the episodes, honestly.
You two joined so early on that like you were already so deep into the weeds. I joined episode 320, something like that. And so because of that, I watched a bunch of it before I was Brook, when I was just playing little parts like Itami Mizu and Ian and all that kind of stuff. And then when I got Brook, there's this episode where where Brook's like hanging out with the Straw Hats, and he goes, whoa. Was that was you guys in Alabasta? And they're like, yeah. I'm like, whoa. And there are all these moments where he's like, I'd heard and he had heard about these stories. And then I realized if I watch them, then it'll be like I was there, that I knew them. Like it struck me watching Film Red. I looked at one of my other Straw Hats and I go, I don't think Brooks know who Shanks is. Like, I think he's heard of him, but like,
Oh,
there's
yeah.
no. And then we were in Times Square doing the arm up thing, and I just wanted a little caption of Brooke going, I don't know what we're doing, but this is fun. Because he has no idea. He doesn't know the emotional depths of it, because that was all this stuff that they went through before he joined. So I had to stop. But I restarted recently, and it is so good. And I was so annoying, and I am so annoying going to all my other Straw Hats and going, oh my God, you are so good in this role. I accosted Sonny at a movie premiere like a week or two after I restarted. I go, no, you don't get it. You are so good at that role. And he's like,
Well, I want to address one thing, because I can tell that you folks are friends, or at least pretend to be friends. I want to know how this voice actor community actually work, because technically when you do voice acting, you're working by yourselves, and you rarely meet each other in real life, whether it's through Zoom like this or on a carpet. I mean, do you guys are actually, do you, like, outside of voice acting, do you actually even meet each other, or do you just basically casually work like professionally like this?
Pre-pandemic.
No.
oh yeah.
What's that?
Pre-pandemic, we like hung out,
Yeah.
like did stuff together.
Now that we're actually, starting to go back out into conventions again, and the first panel I did was with Ian and Colleen, and I can't remember the
Lucy.
other. Who else was? Oh yeah,
Lucy.
yeah. Lucy was there, and I was just listening to them talk. I was really trying to keep from crying.
Yeah.
Because it just felt like, oh my God, I just thought this was a dream. I didn't really know that this had actually happened. But when we're recording, we play off of each other's voices. We feel the love that they have for the character, and we just feel connected in a kind of a mystical way, and when we get together, it's like we are more than friends. We are family.
Yeah, the show really like has been a touchstone for all of our careers. I mean, we've just gotten to revisit it just over and over again and grow with it, and to see each other grow. I mean, to see, like, for me, like, Chopper was the first like lead, like big character that I ever got, and so and I remember that feeling, being part of the Straw Hat crew, because everyone else that was in the Straw Hats were all people that I looked up to so intensely, that I was just like, oh my God, how did I end up here? Like, it was just such an incredible feeling. And then to just kind of legitimately become friends with them, and like grow with them and see them grow. And some of us have had kids at this point. We've gotten married since we've been in the show. Like, it's just like, we've gone through a lot together, actually.
And there's this group of 8-9 other of us that have also been through this weird, life-changing, beautiful journey. And there's no one else that we know that we could be like, oh my God, you remember 400 episodes ago when we were working with so-and-so and they were doing this in the booth, and oh my gosh, remember. It's such an important thing for our careers and our emotional selves, and then to share that with a crew, and then and they all love each other and we all love each other. It's impossible when we see each other. We just hug. And Patrick Seitz was at the premiere this last weekend, and I accosted him, was like, oh my God, it's so good to see you. We all miss you so much. We're family.
And I could get that sense, and hopefully all you guys will go out there and buy a concert ticket together and hang out.
That would be great.
That actually would be so fun.
That would be really cool. I'll do it.
But we all have different musical tastes, so we'd have to fight over who we go see.
We would go see a concert with we'd go watch Nico Robbins, Stephanie Young's Stephanie Brem's band.
Yeah.
That would be.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna do that.
Yes.
And then she'd pull Chopper on stage and they do a duet, and it would be the best show ever.
Sing backup for them.
See?
Yeah.
Wow. It's already happened.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much. Really enjoyed this conversation. I really appreciate it. Thank you for speaking.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Gig.